we interview Spenser Starke about the new chapter of Candela Obscura.
For a whisper from my lips could open your mind to a world of arcane torture!
A new chapter of Candela Obscura is starting off this week, and we have all the juicy details about this new 3-arc chapter. Comicbook.com had the chance to speak with Spenser Starke via email about the new series and to get an idea about his DM style and a lot of information about this new chapter. Now, because it's an email interview, that means that Spenser cannot appear on video. Well, at least not for this. We will be talking with him later this week, actually, about a different Critical Role related project. But that's not going to stop us from making a video based on this interview. So, our first question to Spenser was, when you were helping create the world of Candela Obscura, did you, Taliesin, Rowan, and the rest of the team eventually avoid incorporating the works of Lovecraft? And if so, why did you feel that was an important step in creating this world? Spenser's response was, we really wanted to create our own mythology with Candela Obscura. Along with Lovecraft being distinctly racist and xenophobic, so much Cthulhu media already exists, and we felt no desire to tread that ground again. So, when we were brought in to build out Candela Obscura as a horror investigation game, we really had to establish what we did want to say. Early on in development, we laid out the ethos of play, the ground rules of the world, and the cycle of the game, and built up from there. We knew we wanted an experience where everyone, especially marginalized folks who have felt ostracized by both traditional gas lamp settings and Lovecraft in specific, to feel invited and supported at the table. At the same time, we also wanted the place we were building to feel horrifying and dangerous, and not just from the creatures coming through the thinnings within the Fairlands, but from the Fairlands themselves, hence the power structures built into the region that provide opportunity to fight back against the oppressive forces of the Triumvirate. We really quickly established the mantra, find the horror in humanity and the humanity in horror, and did our best to support that with everything we created for the game. Our next question was, are there any additional challenges that come with prepping an actual play game based on a game you helped to design? Starke's response was, I poured so much of my brain into the book we were making, my biggest fear was that all the best ideas for Candela Obscura were already on the page. But this game always surprises me, because once I sit down with players and ask them questions about their characters, everything becomes easy. Through character creation and the conversations we have in our Session 0, I'm always swimming in narrative fodder. Our next question was, when Candela Obscura first debuted, a lot of fans saw how it drew inspiration from Blades in the Dark. Why use Blades in the Dark as a foundation for Candela Obscura, and what does Candela Obscura and the Illuminated Worlds system do different? Spenser explains, I came into the project inheriting the Illuminated World system that the brilliant Strauss, Asimovic, and Layla Edelman had built out. So for Rowan and I, it was more about marrying the Candela Obscura concept in Talison's head with the scaffolding Strauss and Layla had already developed. Strauss is a legendary forged in the Dark designer, Scum and Villainy, Band of Blades, Into the Dark, and many more. So there are certainly hallmarks of that system present in Candela Obscura, but I love so much of what he and Layla crafted specifically for us here. To hit on just one aspect of that, the drive economy is such a player-focused mechanic that really lets you make decisions about when roles are important to you. I also am really excited about the marks and scar systems that Rowan and I developed for Candela specifically, which lets the impacts of the damage you take live with you and quite literally change you. And our final question was, this will mark your first appearance as a GM on Critical Role's channel, so how would you describe your style as GM? What can Candela fans expect from you behind the GM screen for Chapter 2? Spenser's response was, I aim for any games I run to feel cinematic, emotionally grounded, and collaborative. I think the biggest difference is that I use the language of a camera in the scene more than people might be used to. I also try not to over-prep for my sessions, so a lot of what you will see happening is just my reaction in the moment to what the players decide to do. I know what the answer to the mystery is, and I have some ideas of what clues might lead them there, but I try to just let the rest unfold organically. My favorite way to play is to lean really hard into what the characters and their players care about most, and I use that to drive the narrative forward. I want them to feel like the protagonists of their stories. So you'll see a lot of me using the character creation and world building we did together in our Session 0 to inform the kinds of mysteries they are investigating. Now, Candela Obscura Chapter 2 debuts on Critical Role's Twitch and YouTube channels this Thursday at 7 p.m., and also they are bumping up the VOD version of the series with chapters posted the following Monday instead of 2 weeks later. So you can look forward to a lot of Critical Role content in the coming days. We have a lot of great interviews. So if you want to catch all of those, including an interview with Spenser Starke about Daggerheart, an interview with Brennan Lee Mulligan about Candela Obscura, and an interview with Kyle Shire about his new game, Queen by Midnight, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to comment as well.